some real world cutting tests. Just going to use this to light them up. Dry wood. Little tip, this is a dead birch, and I've dug a hole out of it here with the knife, and this is all, it's really cold out here and it's frozen on the outside, and this is dry on the inside, and it's all sort of semi-rotten wood, and this will burn all right, but the point is it's dry and there's no dry wood around, as you can see. So we've found this tree which is dead. You can see that right up there, the whole thing is dead, and we can take some dry wood from above ground level too, and just by chipping it out of there like that, and we'll add that to the birch bark, get a fire going. Yeah, g'day, Bush Camping Tools here. We're out and about today with a J&V product. This is my second J&V product. There it is there. It's their Combat model. Now the staff at J&V in Spain tell me that this was designed in collaboration with soldiers. Yeah, you know, so I've just been doing some cutting stuff with it. So what this sort of knife, if you're going to put Combat on your knife, it's definitely got to be able to cut, that's for sure, and it's got to be able to prise, a little bit of prising. It's 5mm thick across the spine here, yeah, so, and you've got to be able to maybe chop with it, and you've got to be able to survive out here. I don't have any saw with me, so we'll see what we're going to do. I'm going to be able to try to light a fire with this birch bark. We'll get a bit more birch bark. I want to get it raging, but yeah, let's move on. It's wet on the outside, but just this is dry. Don't need much of it. This here. If you're going to do this, you've got to be careful that you don't destroy the tip of your knife. This knife is pretty thick right up until the tip, but you still got to know how much pressure you're putting in there. You know, don't overdo it with the pressure. Some nice oyster mushrooms, they grow even in the winter. Okay, let's see what we can get. Okay, we managed just to get a mouthful of them here, but that's better than nothing, considering, you know, where we are. Using this dry wood that we took from out of the tree. Now in reality that took a bit to get this thing going. I just piled a whole stack of birch bark here that I cut off before you saw me cut that off the tree, and basically yeah, just to get this thing going. And I was going to chop through this log here, but there was no point. The better off just to chop into it to get right into the dry wood, and then put the cut section on the fire to get this thing going. You know, it's quite difficult with all the wet wood around. Got a bit of good salted meat here. Cut up some on the other side of the birch bark. Oh, it's pretty dirty. It's frozen on there. That's what happens when you get it wet. Start with that. Start to get that warm. Okay, let's talk about this. This, as I said, is a product of J&V, and it's their combat knife model. And I reckon if you, as I said, you know, if you're going to put the word combat on something, it's got to be able to cut, chop, pry. It's got to be pretty tough. The thing I like about it is it has a symmetric grip. So if you hold it like this or like this, it doesn't matter. The grip is the same, and therefore it's comfortable. Because it's comfortable like that, it's got to be comfortable like this. Sometimes you have to hold things like this. Yeah. The end here too is interesting too. This pommel on here, it doesn't have like a skull breaker on it, but you can put your hand into it better with a gloved hand on there, but it's not really danging me in the hand if I shove my hand into it like that. Good comfortable grip. You see you could do a little bit of lightweight chopping with it. It's a pretty strong blade, been prizing with it. Have I bent it? No, so, yeah. Anyway, it can cut up some meat. Saw me cut up some meat, cut into birch bark and stuff, so, yeah, is it still sharp? Yeah, you can hear that, still sharp. MV58. It's sort of like a medium to semi-high carbon steel, molybdenum and vanadium in the mix, and it's a proprietary steel of J&V, where they can achieve, they say, on their company website, and they've told me in emails too, they can get a 58 hardness of 58 Rockwell every time with this, so that's a good hardness. The scabbard is no nonsense too. It's mostly synthetic. It has got a leather welt in there, so putting the knife in and out of the scabbard is not going to blunten the knife. As I showed you earlier on, it's got a generous pouch in there. I've got a folder in here. You can put a folder in there like that, right? So I'm one-handed here, and that's pretty good. Good strong webbing. Several attachment points on there. and standard belt loop. Delicious. Oh, that's good. So the question is this thing still sharp? Well, let's have a look at it, after doing all that stuff. I'd say so. Pretty tough stuff, this. So I'm cutting across the grain. There you go. No problems. It's still sharp. Hear that? On the nail, it's still biting into the nail, it's still sharp. There you have it, the J&V Combat. I've had it out, it's still really sharp after cutting into a lot of dirty bark, a lot of dirty wood, wet, with mud on it, that kind of stuff. Then I could easily cut up the meat, make a quick skewer, cut a little skewer, then make one. Yeah, what to say, it's doing everything that it should do, and that is cut. It is a hollow grind, and it's a pretty thick blade, 5mm. The hollow grind's going to make it easy to cut. Primarily that's what you want a knife for, cutting. You can do a bit of chopping with it, though it's not a chopper. It's got quite a bit of weight in it, but it's a short blade. It's not a really big blade. It's got a hefty feel to it. You can hold it either way. It's comfortable like this, and it's comfortable like that, and it's got a good grip on it. I was wearing it both with gloved and ungloved, mainly gloved today because it's so cold. But yeah, there you go, J&V Combat knife, bush camping tools here. Thanks for watching.